How's it going, everybody? My name is Frenchy, and welcome to my clue scroll locked Ironman FrenchyClues. This is a series heavily inspired by both Bayless Mango's Carl Caskets series and Polvy's Houndhunt series. So basically, to jump right into how this whole thing works, we are going to start off by doing nothing but getting beginner clue scrolls. After I have seen every beginner step, which to my count there's 39 of them, and I have received half of the collection log, which for beginner clues is going to be 8 out of 16 unique items, we can then move on to easy clues. This rule of seeing every step and completing 50% of the collection log is going to stay consistent for every clue tier except for mediums. The only other stipulation with mediums is that I must see every single clue step, I must complete half the collection log, and if both those things happen and I do not have a pair of ranger boots, I must continue to grind mediums until I obtain ranger boots. I guess I like torturing myself. I don't know why I did that, but I'm doing it, and that's what it is. But, continuing on, hard clues, elite clues, and master clues will all follow this same step. This same rule set, I should say. With master clues, I'm also giving myself the end of the series is going to happen when I 1. Obtain the Bloodhound pet, and 2. Obtain a piece of third age. It can be any piece of third age, it can come from a hard casket, it can come from an elite casket, it can come from a master. But the series does not end until I have a piece of third age and the Bloodhound pet. I'm very aware this is a very long-term goal. This is going to take a couple years at the absolute minimum, unless I get stupid lucky. But I am more than ready and more than excited to jump into this, as clue scroll content is easily my favorite content in the game. But let's go over the actual rules of the account. Like I said, this is heavily inspired by the 2 series I have mentioned before. Also, both of those series will be linked in the description if you guys want to check them out. But basically, I am not allowed to train any skills, minus the combat skills and minus prayer, unless the clue scroll dictates I do so. This means I am not allowed to go ahead and get myself 20 fishing because I know a beginner clue step requires 20 fishing. I have to wait until I receive that step, and then I am able to go train fishing to get that level. The same rule applies for quests. I am not allowed to do any quests unless it is absolutely mandatory for me to do to complete the clue step. If a clue step requires me to do part of a quest, but not actually complete the quest, I do not complete the quest. I do up to the point where I'm able to complete the clue scroll, and then I stop doing the quest. This rule is more going to take effect in the beginner and easy clue categories, as beginner clues do not have any clue requirements other than I did do X marks the spot to give myself a beginner casket and be able to receive the scroll boxes. And easy clues only require Priest in Peril, Corsair Curve, and Children of the Sun. The only one I'm going to have to do, and a big shout out to Carl Caskets for figuring this out before I did this series, the only quest I'm going to have to do before receiving the clue step is Priest in Peril. There is a clue step to search the crates in Canifis. However, you cannot actually receive that clue step until you have completed Priest in Peril. So when I do unlock the easy tiers, I will go do Priest in Peril, but any other quest I will not be doing beforehand. And lastly, I am not allowed to drop a clue step for any reason unless it is actually impossible for me to complete the clue. So, if I get a clue step, if I'm on the hards and I get a clue step that requires a rune bucket helm, a rune bucket helm is a reward for a hard casket. If I don't already have one, there is no way for me to complete that clue step because I have to complete a hard clue to do it. So I must drop that step. Anything else, it does not matter how hard the grind is, it does not matter how long it is going to take me, if I have to go for a stupid drop rate on a hard boss when we come to Masters, I'm gonna have to do it. Sometimes it'll be great, and I might get the drop or whatever I'm looking for very quickly. Other times I might have to grind for an absurd amount of hours, but that is the nature of the beast with this kind of series, so we are just going to roll with it. But that is pretty much it for the intro and me explaining things to you guys and how everything's going to work. I think you got the gist of it, and if you don't, I'm sure it'll start to make sense as you watch the series. But thank you guys for watching, and I hope you enjoy. Also, side note, this is my first time recording and editing a video, so I'm going to do my best to make it look nice and add all sorts of things and keep the attention span going. But this is a very new thing for me, so it is going to be a little bit of a learning curve. If you know anything I could do better, please let me know. Alright, well, first tiny brain, big idiot moment. I completed X marks the spot. I got the beginner clue. I received a steel longsword and some steel plate legs. And I didn't realize because I went and made the account a member, and after I did that, OBS changed my screen recording from like player 1040 because I started recording when I didn't have the name. It was still on that, but OBS now had a separate one for my FrenchyClues rune light. So I was recording a black screen for the last like 2 minutes of footage. But all you missed was completed X marks the spot. I threw away the XP lamp because, like I said, I cannot get XP from quests. Obviously, like, if a quest is required and I need to, like, do the quest for a clue, then I get the XP from that, but if it's a lamp, I drop it. And I received the steel longsword, the steel plate legs, and I have killed 17 goblins and have not gotten a clue yet. So, that is where we're at. I apologize for being an idiot. But on the bright side, there is 5 attack, and I can now wield the steel longsword I received from that clue. So, get myself up to 5 defense next so I can wear the steel plate legs. One thing I am hoping to get pretty quickly is the step to... I'll take that. The step to, I think it's to catch a trout for Charlie the Tramp and Varrock. That would be useful because until then I cannot train any fishing. And that means no food, so I'm just going to be dying and coming to pick up my stuff. But once I do get that step, I will be able to go catch myself some food and be able to keep all that, so that'll be nice. The first death. Good thing I'm not a hardcore. There is the first beginner clue. Only took 33 goblins, which I think they're 1 in 64, maybe? So, go ahead and open this, but I won't complete it until I get a second one. First step is going to be Champions Guild. Well, there is 5 defense, so I can wear my steel plate legs now, along with combat level 6 and beginner scroll box number 2. So, let me pick up all my goodies here and go do these 2 clues. Oh, one day I'll get to you, Mr. Eclectic Impling, for the medium clues, but not today, unfortunately. Alright, I just got to talk to Hans here, and that should be the end of this, if I can catch up to him. From my calculations, there are 39 beginner steps, so I'll have to, like, double check after and make sure that is correct. We've completed 6 of the steps so far. So yeah, there is casket number 2. And that is including, like, speaking to Reldo to receive the strange device is technically a beginner step, but also the step that you have to do. So, like, I had to do the mushroom patch in Draenor Manor. I counted that as 2 different steps. But they're both on the list of steps, so, I don't know. But I'll double check. As of right now, I believe there are 6 out of 39 steps completed. But we have 2 beginner casket here. So, let's go and get something good. Not the worst, I guess. Alright. Not ideal, but could be worse. Honestly, this is peak fashion skate. Well, that's not quite what I'm looking for, but there's an easy clue scroll. I will not be able to do that until I complete the beginners, but I still have it. I won't open it until then. We'll keep it a surprise. Sir, What are you doing in Lumbridge? I feel like I never see these even on my regular Ironman, but about 2 hours into the account and there's the first dragon impling I can't catch. Alright, well there is the first collection log on the account. Got the camo top, just adding to the fashionscape. Well, there is the first beginner clue in quite a little bit. I want make sure I mark that because I almost missed it. I think I got my second beginner clue earlier on like 40 or 45 goblins, so yeah, spent about 200. Gonna get one more before we go do these two, but happy to see they still exist. Well, there is easy casket number 2, so these two are gonna be... The other one's already in my bank, this one will go in with it, so I can't get any more easy clues now. So those are gonna sit in my bank for a very long time, but at least we can't roll it anymore. Alright, well that took a very long time. 304, but we got 2 beginner clues, so let me go get those done. Well, we got the first casket, but as you can see, clue scroll number 2 is Charlie the Tramp. So this may be our first skilling grind on the account. Alright, let's see what old Charlie wants from us. A cooked trout. This is exactly the first step I wanted, as a cooked trout is going to be, I believe it's 20, if I can figure out what I'm doing here. 15 cooking and 20 fishing. So I'm going to have to grind out 20 fishing and 15 cooking, which means I will finally have food. Not that the goblins are really hurting me anymore, but it'll still be a good thing to have unlocked. So this is going to take a little bit, but let me go back to Lumbridge and start doing some fishing. And actually, I guess in the meantime, since this is going to be a little bit of a grind, I can go ahead and open this beginner casket that I have already. Sweet. I know it's only been a couple hours of killing the goblins now, but it already feels kind of nice to do something other than just killing goblins. Alright, so we got our first inventory of shrimps cooked, and I did just want to point out, so the clue scroll requires that I have to give Charlie a cooked trout. Like I said, it is 20 fishing to catch trout, but it is only 15 cooking to cook the trout. So once I get my cooking to level 15, I have to stop cooking at that point. I can still fish, obviously, all the way up to level 20, but I don't need to level my cooking past 15, and I'm not allowed to level my cooking past 15. So once I get 15 cooking, I will not be able to cook the shrimps anymore, so hopefully I can burn less so I can have more food. Alright, there is 20 fishing and 15 cooking, so let's go back to Mr. Charlie.
Where's the lamb sauce?
Alright, next step, Veronica. Alright, there is beginner casket number 5. All that for a wizard hat.
Oh yeah.
Another beginner clue. Hey, beginner clue scroll number 2. Oh, and it's a step I haven't done. Hell yeah. Alright, so my next step does require me to have a gold ring and a gold necklace, which I believe is only 6 crafting for the gold necklace and 5 for the gold ring. However, I have level 1 mining, so getting gold through mining is going to be out of the question. So the only other thing I can think of is to telegrab the gold bars from under the Varrock Bank. However, telegrab is going to be 33 magic, so I'm going to have to go grind that out first. So to get myself 33 magic, I'm obviously going to have to buy myself some runes. I did get the 10k from the Stronghold of Security, so spend most of that on runes and see how far it gets us, I guess. So I am not allowed to train crafting until I get the step to make a leather coif or whatever it is, but I can still pick up the cowhide preemptively. So I'm going to do that, so when I do get a crafting step, I'm ready for it. And with this kill, it's going to be 33 magic, so that is the level I need for telekinetic grab. However, I realized I don't have a law rune. So, according to the wiki, Ankus are a 1 in 25 drop for a law rune, but if I go hop to a free-to-play world, it's a 1 in 5. So I'm going to go do that, and then we can go get our gold bar. Alright, well, change of plans because I cannot find a way to safe spot these guys. I'm going to go to the wilderness and go to the mage bank or whatever it is and buy a couple law runes there because I almost died twice. Alright, we survived our endeavor into the wilderness as long as I don't get killed in the next couple seconds. Cool, so grab a couple law runes and then we can continue on with the clue scroll about 4 hours of gameplay later. Alright, so law runes acquired. Next step, I do need to get 5 crafting, I believe, for the gold ring. I did think I needed 6 for the gold necklace, but that is also tele-grabbable in the Varrock basement, so I just need 5 for the gold ring. Luckily, I did keep not all the cowhide from the cows I killed, but enough to get me to 19 crafting, which is going to be the highest requirement for beginner clues. So I will go get these tanned, get myself up to 5 crafting, and then the rest will sit there until I get the step that requires 19. Alright, there is 5 crafting, so I can now make my gold ring. So let's get to Varrock and go telegrab that gold bar. Okay, I got really scared at first because I came down here and did not see a gold bar and thought I might have been losing my mind. Double checked the wiki, it does say there is a gold bar down here, somebody else must have grabbed it already. So I will grab the gold necklace and I'm gonna go hop worlds and try to find a gold bar somewhere. Alright, there is the gold bar. Let me grab that and then go get this ring made and we can finally do this clue step after about 5 hours of getting the levels and items. Alright, let's go in here, make ourselves a gold ring, and finally, I don't even remember where the actual clue step was. Grab this stuff out. It was in Varrock, so let me go back there. Alright, let's get this ring and this necklace on. To a raspberry, talk to Yuri, and we get a casket. We'll open this casket now. I feel like it's been a long grind for it, but I do still have another scroll box to open. Hopefully can have a little bit of a break from the grinds, but let's see what we get. A blue wizard robe top. Lovely. But let's see the next step. Gertrude, well, that is right here, and that is another new step. Alright, Gertrude, you're gonna make it easy and make it a 1-step clue for me? No, of course not. Panic in the Alcarid Mine, that is another new step, and... Alright, Mr. Sedrador, give me my casket, please, and let's get something good. Ooh, Rune Scimitar Ornament Kit. That's gonna be the first collection log. And with that, I mean, I don't have 40 attack yet, but when I do, I can go grind out Fire Giants and get myself a Rune Scimitar and then make it look nice. But for now, it is back to the Goblins. Okay, so second time this has happened now. I'm a big idiot, again. I'll probably play the audio still from when I got it, just for context, but I did receive the Rune Scimitar Ornament Kit, the Guthix one specifically. The other 2 clips were just my clue steps. So we are now at 17 out of 39 unique beginner steps seen. And we have 1 collection log out of 16. So that is 7 more until the 50% threshold and about halfway through the beginner steps. So good progress. I'm actually very glad to be coming back to the Goblins, as I've been at cows for a long time, and they have a much less chance of dropping beginner clues, but they definitely still can, and there was probably 6 or 7 times that it popped up saying that I had a feeling I would have gotten a beginner clue or whatever, so being able to start grinding out clues again is definitely a good feeling after all that. And just a couple goblins in, there's our next beginner clue. That was pretty quick. There is beginner clue number 2, so hopefully we can knock these out a little quicker than the last one. Alright, first step. Uh-oh, Charlie the Tramp. We're gonna be grinding again. Alright, Charlie, what do you got for me? An iron dagger. Well, lucky for me, there is an iron dagger spawn right near the goblins in Lumbridge, so I can just go pick that one up. And grab the iron dagger. Give that to Charlie, and next up is going to be the standing stones north of Falador. That is another new step. Another 3-step clue. Charlie the Tramp again. God damn it. Alright, Charlie, what do you got for me? A cooked pike. Do I have the level for that already? Meats. I need 20 cooking. Good thing I kept raw fish from my 20 fishing grind, so that one will not be too bad. Glad I double checked. I actually need 25 fishing for a pike, so I need to go train that a little bit, and then I can cook one. Alright, there is 25 fishing, so I can now get pike. Hopefully cooking this inventory will get me the 20 cooking I need, as I'm already 19. And then we should be able to move on. Big 20 cooking. Alright, there is the pike caught and cooked. As far as I know, the only skill requirement I have left is 19 crafting, which I already have the cowhides for. I just need to tan them and make the gloves when I do get that step. And I believe 15 mining for mining in iron ore. So, not too many terrible grinds left. Alright, Charlie, thank you for the casket, and believe that is a duplicate step, but not one we have to grind for at least. Oh, Charlie again. Lovely. What you got for me, Charlie? A raw trout. We've already done that step. Just gotta go catch another one. Actually, I lied. We had the cooked trout step before. This one is for a raw one, so that is going to be another unique step. That'll be 21 out of 39 now. Here you go, Charlie. New clue. Talk to Shantae at Shantae Pass, south of Alcarid. That is another new step. Alright, what you got for me, Mr. Shanty? Cool, that'll be 2 more beginner caskets. Number 8. I will take the fire runes, I guess. And number 9, body runes. Absolute garbage. Well, that one took a couple hundred goblins, but there is another beginner clue. And beginner number 2. Quick stat update. Two more beginner caskets. I'll take the staff. And 8 cabbage, which means we rolled the rare drop table, but no rare. The double collection log. Alright, so we got the bare feet and another rune scimitar ornament kit. So that is, take a look on the collection log. 3 out of 16 uniques, so 5 more to go to 50%. Alright, so I don't think my loot tracker is coming up on the recording for some reason, but we did just hit 1,000 goblins killed. We are up to 14 beginner clue scrolls from them, plus the one I got from X marks the spot, so we're at 15 total. 14 from the goblins, which does come out to 1 in every 71 kills, which the rate is supposed to be 1 in 64, so we're pretty close to rate at least. But yeah, that's the first real kind of goblin milestone. I have buried every single bone I've gotten from the 1,000 goblins, and also I killed 558 cows from doing the 33 magic grind. So we are up to 23 prayer from that. Combat stats are looking pretty good, up to 28 strength and 33 magic, 23 prayer, 20 defense and attack. So yeah, making some good progress. Hoping to see some more clue scrolls soon, because going a little dry right now. Alright, that was another new step, which puts us at 26 out of 39 unique beginner steps, and 2 caskets. First one, fire runes. Second one, an iron pickaxe. God, I love beginner clues. Oh, what you got for me, Charlie? Iron ore. It's time to go grind out 15 mining. Alright, there is level 15 mining. I can now mine iron, so let me get up to Varrock, mine myself some iron, and bring it to Mr. Charlie. That also does mark the second to last grind, skill-wise, we have to do for beginner clues. The last one will be 19 crafting when I get I think it's the leather chaps. So, just one more skilling grind for beginners. There we got the cow field north of Lumbridge, which I am fairly positive is another new step. Never mind, I'm a liar, not a new step. Oh, what you got for me, Charlie? Piece of iron ore? I can do that. Alright, that was step number 3, so this should be the casket. No new clue steps on those 2 caskets, but hopefully a collection log here. Or an oak longbow. That's cool too, I guess. Alright, there is another beginner clue. This will mark clue number 20 on the account. So I think to end it on a nice round even number, we're going to go complete this one. Oh. Okay. We're going to go complete this one and then see what we get. Reldo for the first step. Is it a step I have already done? It is not. I don't have 10 GP. I got to run this way anyway though, so it's fine. Maybe a 1-step clue, hopefully. I feel like I've had a lot of 3-step clues recently. Nope, at least a 2. But Renail in the Alcarid skirt shop is another unique step. Alright, 2 new steps is great, but what will really make me happy here is a casket. No, of course not. Cook and Lumbridge Castle, we have already... That was a sick voice crack. We have already had that step. Alright, this should be casket number 20 on the account. Nice little milestone, but let's go ahead and get it open and hopefully get our 4th beginner unique. That is our 4th beginner unique. Alright, good way to end it off. Alright, well, like I said, that is going to be where we do go ahead and call it for episode 1. Just to go over some general stuff, we're up to combat level 34, 25 attack, 30 strength, 23 defense, 25 prayer, 33 magic, 31 hit points, 5 crafting, 25 fishing, 20 cooking, and 15 mining. In-game playtime, it's going to be up to 19.5 hours for collecting the first 20 clues, so about a clue per hour, but that's including all the grinds and stuff I did. You know, to be able to complete some of the clues. Go ahead and look at the collection log here. 2 of the collection log slots are from random events, but we are at 4 out of 16 for beginners. So that is halfway to our goal of 50% of the collection log, and we have seen 29 out of 39 of the unique beginner clue steps. The only clue steps I have left to see are going to be to craft the leather body for Charlie, the leather chaps for Charlie, those ones being 14 and 18 crafting in that order, to give him a raw herring, which we have 10 fishing for, we just haven't gotten this step yet. We still need to talk to the apothecary and Fortunato for the anagram steps. We have seen all the other ones. We need to talk to Hundig atop the tower on the east side of Barbarian Village for the NPC ones. For the item ones, or the emote ones, we still have the chef hat and red cape emote step at Iffy Knitter in Varrock, and to spin at Flynn's Mace Shop in Falador. And then the only hot and clue step we have not seen yet is the wheat field next to Draenor Village. And then the last map step we have not seen is the southeast Varrock mine. So 10 more steps left, which is not too bad, and going a little bit quicker than I thought it would for only being at 20 beginner clues. Bank value is at 127k. Here's our 4 uniques, and I do have the 2 easy scroll boxes ready to go for when we're at that point. But to fully end it off, I just want to say thank you for watching. I've had a ton of fun filming episode 1. It's definitely refreshing to play the game in a different way. I mean, Ironman that I play is already a different way, but I just am addicted to clue scroll content, so doing this kind of thing and just focusing solely on clue scrolls has been a nice break for me, even if it has been killing somewhere in the realm of 1,400 goblins now, but we have plenty more to kill. I'm sure I'm going to go pretty dry on one of these clue steps or on getting uniques, because 4 uniques and 20 clue scrolls is already pretty overrate. I think it's 1 in 12 to see a unique from a beginner clue, so we're pretty ahead of the curve there. But if you enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe if you want to see more of this content. I definitely hope some people enjoy it. A lot of work is going to go into this, but anyways, thank you again for watching, and I will see you guys next time.